welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I do to design a pattern. So first of all, we grab some scrap yarn. This is just some 8 ply or light worsted weight acrylic. Work up what I want to do, and this was a stitch pattern that I've found in the book. I think about 4 or 5 stitch patterns there that I've combined, and up to about here, that was just me experimenting. You can see it bulges out of the side. But when I looked at it, I thought I need these mesh sections and these V-stitch sections to be bigger because they kind of get lost in all the stitches. So once I got past here, this part here is actually the pattern that I decided to go with. You can actually, no, it's different to the pattern I decided to go with, but you can see here I've extended the V-stitch sections, and I actually extended the mesh sections. In my pattern, I've made like more repeats of the mesh. Then I did some mesh up here. So the final pattern is slightly different again, but this was just me practicing, so you can, I haven't blocked it or anything. It's just worked up. So that was pretty much the first thing that I do after I decide what stitch patterns I want to use. Then I grab my notebook and a pencil. I do it the old-fashioned way. I could do it on the computer straight away, but when you're sitting on the couch, or it depends where you're sitting, it's not always practical to have my laptop out with me. And it's definitely not practical on the couch or the lounge because there's just too much stuff between the yarn, the pattern that you're writing, and all the bits and pieces that you use, your books. There's just not enough room for my husband to sit next to me. So adding a laptop is just not practical sometimes. I do it the old-fashioned way. This way also, if my laptop crashes, it's all written down in this. It does take me longer because then I have to rewrite it into the computer, but I've always got like a hard copy to go back to. So as you can see, you start designing your pattern and then you go, nope, that doesn't work, so we'll scratch that out. And then you come down and you think, yo, that looks really good. And then you realise it doesn't work either, so you scratch that out. And then you've got to decipher your own writing, which for me is not very neat, but at least I can read it, at least, yeah. So look, there's another one scratched out here. And then I seem to be on quite of a roll after that, but this bit here is just repeating what we've done up here. This was the section that you saw just here. But then I wanted to repeat the mesh sections and the double crochet sections. I wanted to make them bigger. So this bit here, like where it's numbered 1 to 18, is actually the final pattern. You can see here I've only got 10 rows, but the final pattern has 18. That's because I made these mesh sections and everything, I made them wider. So from 10 rows of designing, I ended up with 18 rows for the pattern. And then after that you repeat it. And it says here repeat 3 to 18. But what I didn't write down was when to stop. And I thought I had it correct. And I thought we stopped on row 3. But no. I made the whole thing, washed it and blocked it. Then realised you're supposed to finish, I think it was on row 5. Put it this way, it wasn't the row that I finished on. So my final version I have is going to be completely different to yours. It will look almost the same. I've just got a mesh section missing, but once you're wearing it, no one's going to know because they don't know the design, right? So yeah, that's what I do. I scribble all that down. Next up, go to the computer and I write up the instructions. So what you can see typed is the instructions that I've typed off that. So then sometimes I go back and I crochet my notes. So you guys get it when it's in this version. If you're testing a pattern, ignore the handwriting, but just the printed section from the computer. That's what you'll get. But as you can see, if I had given you that, all this pencil marks that you can see written all over it would have been missing. And you would have been testing this pattern going, what am I doing? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's when I go back and, because I knew this wasn't correct when I typed it up, I knew there were bits missing. That's why I made this version. And when I was crocheting this one, you can see I've got, hang on, you can see there's a grey mesh section there. But if you look at this white one, there's mesh, and then 4 double crochets, and it goes, oh, hang on, not that bit, that's the bit, sorry, this bit. You've got mesh, then 4 double crochets, and it goes straight into V sections. I wanted more mesh because I thought they looked really cool. So I've got mesh, double crochets, and then another row of mesh. So that's what I changed from that one. And then it's got a V-stitch section, which is that big. I don't know if it's the same amount of rows in my white version, but I know I used a much larger crochet hook, so it does look more. So it did change again when I crocheted it up. And I think with these mesh repeats, it looks really cool. So at the top here, which is where I finished my pattern, you can see it's got a mesh. Well, that was supposed to be another mesh section. So that's where I went wrong. So from here, I write it up again, which I don't have another one printed out because I'd already tested the pattern when I made the one I just showed you, the pretty one. So the next step is it goes to my testers, and then they test it to make sure it makes sense. And luckily, this was a really good pattern and it made total sense. So there wasn't much editing to do. And a huge shout out to my testers. Thank you so much. You make my job so much easier. So from here, that's when I go and make a video tutorial and I read off the final edit. So not this one because this is too messed up, but I read off the final edit, which I will print off when I go to make the tutorial, which I haven't done yet. So that would be the next step. Once I have all my pattern and everything done and I know it's correct, then it's time to make a tutorial. And I've gathered all my supplies. I've got 7 colours for this tutorial. You can see here I've got some scrap pieces. That's a project I started, so that's just staying in the bag because it was using this yarn. That's red. It looks really bright orange, but it's not. It's red. Yeah, so we gather all our supplies and a crochet hook, and there's scissors and everything in this bag. This is my Tpins craft bag. And I love it. Let me spin it around. It has a clear top with a little opening there that clips down. You can see it clips down over there. And it has a clear top. It has these little yarn guides if you want to use that. I don't use those most of the time unless my yarn is all in this front pocket here. But you can see with bigger projects you've got yarn at the back. So you could put your yarn through there, that hole. But you can just use the eyelets. And I have before, it's just this project won't be used like that. It's got great handles, it's got a shoulder strap, it's got one just to pick it up by hand. Pick it up by hand, how else would you pick it up? And it's got a front pocket. This actually zips all the way down. And you can put sewing needles, what's this? A pen, a crochet hook, that is not supposed to be in there. But anyway, I'll leave it in there. I think it's to pick up stitches when I knit because it's quite small. And this is I think it's a zip, yep, a zip pocket there that you can put more stuff in. It's got a clear pocket on the side. There's one on the other side that's not clear. It's a fantastic bag. It is huge. It fits so much stuff in it. As you can see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 200-gram balls, which is 7 ounces. And then there's stuff at the back. Like, there's heaps of room. Like I could fit a small project in there as well if I wanted to. Like if you were traveling somewhere. I don't know if I've used all these pockets. Yeah. Oh no, look, there's still one at the end. Because these are quite big, it all sort of crunches up and the last pocket doesn't get used. You could probably fit a smaller ball of yarn in there though, easily. Like something like, where's that ball of yarn? Ball of yarn, you could stick that down there, easy. If you would like to get one for yourself, these bags are fantastic. I'll put an Amazon, I can't do that up one-handed. I'll put an Amazon link for you in the description box. It's an affiliate link, so if you do make a purchase, I make a tiny little commission and it's no extra cost to you. I'm making sure it is Tpins. Yep, it is Tpins. I just had a feeling maybe it wasn't that brand. And there's another pocket here. What's that? Oh, that's so cute. I think someone's given me a gift somewhere. I'm terrible. I have a terrible memory. Notepad, that's awesome. So that can go in there with my pen in case I need to take notes for something. But yeah, love this bag. It comes in a smaller version as well. And I have one of them as well. I don't use the smaller version as much because I seem to make big projects. But the small one is great if you're making a hat or a scarf. This is going to be a wrap. I've used this to make a blanket for my sister. I've used this to make a poncho, which needed lots of colours. I know I've used it for more than that, but that's just ones that come to mind. But yeah, if you want to get one, like I said, the link's below. And they come in different colours as well. And I think they come in different lid options. Oh, and up here too, if I can unzip, that's a little clear pocket, so you could put tripod. I used to have one that I used to sit around. It was quite frustrating to work with. You had to work around the tripod, and the tripod legs went down to the ground, to the floor. So you had to like sort of put your legs around it and put your arms around it, and it was really hard to do. This is just a cheap camera. It's, what is it? It's a, I don't even know. It's a Sony. And it was sort of the lower range. It was like mid to low range price for it. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what, it didn't cost very much in the scheme of things. Video cameras, and I've had this thing for, I would say, 6 years. I cannot believe I've had it that long. And it's had a bit of a break in the last year, so it's really only done, I'd say it's done about 4 years of work, but it's fantastic. Fingers crossed, it keeps going. I am due to get a new camera, but it's still working, so I may as well keep using it. So yeah, that's my camera, my tripod, and I have something to lean on so my arms don't get sore. It's also good for stopping noise on the backdrop. And we're just about to film what we are going to need for the tutorial, really. So I need to fix my camera so it's looking at what we're looking at. Whoop. That must be all the way down. That's not very down. I've had my tripod using it for something else, so it's been moved. Every time I need to fix it up again. I've got two tripods. You're on one with my phone, so this one was used because I've only got the one you're on. I've only just bought it because I had to keep setting up this all the time, so now I shouldn't have to, and this could be left where it is, and things will be much easier. Okay, so we've got to make sure these are in shot. Oh, make sure our backdrop's in the right spot. Oh, hang on guys, you guys are moving. Okay, so we've got our stuff. I feel like someone's watching me, even though I'm just got a camera on. It's really strange. We are kind of watching when you're watching this. So for our supplies, we are going to need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle with a large eye, makes your sewing in ends a lot easier. We're going to sew in some of our ends if you do the way I'm doing it in the video, and you can use some of your ends to make a tassel or to attach your tassel or to make a fringe. So I have a crochet hook here. This is just a cheap plastic crochet hook. I've had it for years, but it's the only one I have in an 8mm crochet hook size. I don't even know if that's going to show up because it's kind of, I think that shows up. Yep, I've got an 8mm. I have no idea what that is in American size, so I'll put that across the screen. Basically, you want a crochet hook that is about 4 sizes bigger than what your yarn is recommending. The yarn that I have today is Red Heart Super Saver, and this is a worsted weight yarn. And if you'll watch me on this camera, you'll know that this all gets edited out, so this bit where I'm talking to you is not going to be in the video. So bits get edited out, so you'll get to see what actually happens rather than what's edited. So this is one of my yarns. I've got spring green for my green. We are going to need 7 colours altogether if you're going to make it out of yarn that you already have and you have a lot of it, or you can completely make this out of scraps, which is what I did for the other version that you'll see, which is sort of all different colours. So this is spring green. This is a, waiting for the camera to focus, a number 4 weight yarn, which is a worsted weight. You can make this in number 3 weight yarn, double knit, or 8 ply. For us Aussies, it's an 8 ply. For double knits, it's probably UK, even though in Australia we do call it double knit as well. This recommends a 5.5mm crochet hook. So this is probably a bit bigger than what is recommended, but obviously that bit's getting cut out. It recommends a 5.5mm crochet hook. We'll just put that a bit closer so you can see. But like I said, I will be using a bigger crochet hook. If you have a... G'day, welcome back to the video. And today is the editing stage of the video. You can see here that there's the project on the screen, and then I've got all my clips that I've taken, and I've just got to stick them all together and edit out all the bloopers. There's no good bloopers in this one. And edit out all the bits where I'm not talking, or bits where I've made a mistake and I've got to fix it up, things like that. And currently we have 1 hour and 40 minutes of footage, and this is for a wrap, and I also show you how to block the wrap. It could be used as a scarf and a blanket as well. I show you how to block that project, and I also show you how to make some tassels that I made the wrap version that's going to be on my wrap. So I'll show you how to do that as well. That's quite a long video, so but don't worry, lots are going to be edited out. I'm hoping I can get that down to just about an hour. If it isn't, I am going to break it up because that's a very long tutorial. Had lots of fun doing this tutorial. This is my first tutorial. Yes, this will be my first, sorry I was trying to think. This will be my first tutorial back for 2020, so it'll be released at the end of January. If you're seeing this, it's probably already been released, so there'll be a link on the screen up here to go and watch the tutorial. So yeah, very exciting. So I've got to get into editing because it takes quite a long time. This will probably take me most of the day, I would say, because it's a long tutorial. But yeah, I've been eating nuts and dried apples. It's my snack to keep me going. There's a lot of replaying, so I hear myself over and over again. As a easy plus pattern, you will need to know your basic stitch. And I don't know if you can see up here, I know that's wrong, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. Stitches like chain stitches, single crochets and double crochets. So you can see I've got a pause, there's a blank space there, ooh, and a blank space there. I'm hoping that's showing up on the camera. So I need to edit those out. Don't know about you, but I get a lot of blank spaces. So delete that, close the gap. And the same with this one. And then I've got to replay it to make sure it makes sense. Easy plus pattern. You will need to know your basic stitches like chain stitches, single crochets and double crochets. Okay, I need to fix up this bit because I don't know if you can see up here. I'm going to see if I can edit the video and zoom in on this section. You can see me wearing crochet and some weird background. We need to get rid of the weird background. I know what's happened, it's all gone out of sync. Here we go. Put that one over the top and put that one over the top. Make that the same size. That should now play with no weird background.
To be a wrap. We'll be creating mesh stitches, also V stitches in various combinations, and puff stitches. I would rate this project as a easy plus pattern. You will need to know your basic stitches like chain stitches, single crochets, and
okay, so that's that footage that I've just inserted, which is up here, which is of the what are they called? Cockatoos. He's going to just be some background footage just so you can have something to watch, and I'm just going to have my voice over the top telling you about the project that we're doing. So I'm going to get on with the rest of the video. You can't see me, I'm off the screen. I'm going to get on with the rest of the video and in the editing. I don't know what my hair's doing today. It's got a life of its own. I'm going to get along and do the rest of the editing, so I will see you in the next part of the video. I am still editing. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. I haven't been editing all day because I have no motivation. None. Didn't do anything yesterday either, but it will pass. Hopefully. So I am still editing this, and it started off at 1 hour and 40 minutes worth of footage, and now it's up to 1 hour and 44 minutes of footage. How do you add more time when you're editing stuff out? You forget to film the first row of the pattern. Or I filmed it and I didn't press record. I don't know what's happened, but you see how crazy my hair is? That's pretty much how this tutorial is going to be. But you won't know that when you watch the video because it's going to make total sense. So 4:30 is my guilty indulgence, and I watch Bold and the Beautiful. I know it's cheesy, it's probably not your favourite show, but it's just my silly little show that I love to watch. Yeah, so that will be me in about 5 minutes. Actually, it's only 4:25, so in 5 minutes I get to have a break and go sit and just veg out. And I might actually do some crocheting while I'm watching it, so don't know. I might just sit and relax and do nothing. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. Okay, so in my last clip I said I get to watch Bold and the Beautiful and crochet on the couch. And that show's only on Monday to Friday. Today's Saturday. I just realised. I think I might work till 5, which is another half an hour, and then call it quits for the day. I think that's a good idea. Hey everyone, it is day 2 of editing. Day 1 didn't go very smoothly. I wanted to burn my computer. If you can hear that noise in the background, I've just got the fan going because it's quite warm in here. Yeah, it didn't go very smoothly, so day 1 was pretty much a write-off. I think I edited 7 minutes worth of the tutorial, so that's how much I got done on day 1. I also had absolutely no motivation, 0. Yeah, I don't know, the last couple of days have been really tired. I don't know what's going on, but hey, yep, really tired. But today I feel fine. So obviously, and I have been going to bed early and just resting. So obviously whatever it was, it's gone and I feel really good today. So let's go with it. So yeah, day 2 of editing, and like I said, I'm up to 7.5 minutes into the tutorial, and there was like an hour and 40 minutes worth of footage. So I've got a while to go. That's okay. I cannot wait to get this video tutorial out for you guys. It's really, really nice. I've made 2 because the first one was the design to write it all down, and then the second one was for the tutorial. So I love both of mine. I cannot wait to see what you guys make with this tutorial. Yeah. Alrighty, I'm getting back to work. We are editing again, and I think we're on day 3. It's all a blur. It's definitely day 3 of crazy hair again. I don't know what is going on. I'm still editing. I'm up to approximately 46 minutes into the tutorial, and I've chopped off 16 minutes off so far of the footage, and I'm only around halfway through all of the footage that I had. So you can see how it always shrinks down to what you get at the end of the tutorial. Good morning. It is, I don't even know, it's Monday. I had yesterday off. I caught up with some crochet friends. So hi Karen, hi Maura, hey everyone. Caught up with some crochet friends, had a really good time, and now it's Monday and we are back to, guess what? We're back to editing. I don't have you on a tripod right now because I can't be bothered setting it up. Back to editing. But I have a cup of tea. I have a bottle of water that you can see just here. Oh, look, you can see my project that I'm working on here. It's got a lot bigger. I'm almost ready to put the handles on that one, so exciting. And I'm doing my final edit. So you do, well, I do an edit and then I go back and watch it and then realise that I forgot to edit a heap of things. So then I do another edit and then I watch it again, and hopefully the third time, edit once, go through again, edit the bits you missed. Yeah, third time, hopefully it's good, and then you can just check to see if you need to edit any more. And so yeah, I'm on my third time on, what part am I doing? I'm doing part 1 now. Part 2 of the video, I'm doing a bit back to front, but part 2 of the video is finished, and I just need to convert it and upload it to YouTube. And now I'm doing the other part, so I've just got to do my second edit, then rewatch it, and then convert it, and then upload it to YouTube. So that'll probably take up most of the day today. I'm doing a little bit of sewing. Can't say what it is because it's a surprise for someone. Oh, nice warm cup of tea. It's colder here today. It's a top of 14 degrees. It's the second day of summer, but we've had some really hot days. We've had some high 30s, which is Celsius, of course, not Fahrenheit, because that would not be very warm. But yeah, it's 14 today, so I've got a jumper on. I've got it like wrapped up around my neck, the hood, because I'm cold. Got my hot cup of tea, and in my new cup that I bought myself as a reward for being a good girl. Yeah, I got over some things, and I thought I need to treat myself. I'm going to buy a cup, because who doesn't like lots of cups and lots of mugs? It's really shiny, so it's kind of glary, but it's such a pretty blue, and it's sort of iridescent. I love it. And I'm drinking Rooibos, and I think this is the strawberry and cream one. It doesn't really taste like strawberries and cream, but it smells like it, and it's really good. Anyway, I've got a video to edit, so I better go and do it.